Hello, well, okay. I have been gone for a while, and to be blunt, that has been because I have not wanted to go ahead and do this just because I had no reason really want to play these games. Didn't really say anything to me, but it's recently occurred to me that this might be a good thing for me to start doing again. Just talk to anybody who watches this, whether that's nobody or the one or two people that actually did go ahead and watch. Uh, Anyways, this is Rebuild 3, Gangs of Deadville. If you've played Rebuild 1 or 2, first of all, congratulations on playing strategy games like I do. Second of all, congratulations on playing Flash games, back when those were a thing. And this is basically the same thing, but it's more customizable. For example, so basically in the original game you had survivors and they had unique traits, but in this game they're a lot more unique, a lot more in depth. Uh, sure, let's go with that. Uh, so let's go ahead and figure out what we want him to be. But yeah, as I was saying, just this would be a good place for me to talk to people, to go ahead and just this seems like a decent idea. Uh, I'm not going to be doing anything where I'll be particularly loud while playing. I'll mostly be sticking to stuff like this, maybe some Kerbal Space Program or Civilization. Civilization might be 5 or 6. Personally, I prefer 5, so you'll probably see a lot more of that, but if anybody wants Civ 6, then sure. Anyways, I'm back. I'm playing again, and yeah. Let's see. Personally, I prefer to have my actual leader be the leadership role. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I don't really like the. I honestly think the politician is my favorite, if only because that extra survivor really comes in handy from past experience. Also, to clarify, I've played through quite a bit of the initial story of this. I actually reset my story right before starting recording, in order to go ahead and do this. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get started. Uh, anyways, if by the way, if you read what was there before, good job. I'm skipping over most of this, but I'll start reading now. Anyways, March 4th, 2016. Containment failed. The internet guy never came. This morning I woke to what I thought were protesters outside, but I was wrong. So very, very wrong. They're fighting in the street down there, with their hands and teeth just tearing into people. I saw a cop shoot a woman in the chest. Covered in blood, she just got up and kept fighting. By the way, if you can't tell by this point, this is a zombie game. Rise of the Undead. On the news, they're telling us to stay indoors. They keep opening emergency shelters, but every time something goes wrong and it turns into another bloodbath. The infection is spreading so fast as in Vancouver and San Francisco now too. They've shut down the airports, but it's too late. It's too late, it's too late, it's too late. Venturing outside. I ran out of ramen and soda about the time the TV cut out. It was finally quiet outside, so I took what survival gear I had and made my way out to the street. The last shelter they'd broadcast was 10 blocks away at a boys' private school. I made it halfway before I was attacked. It was so stupid. I don't know why I didn't have a weapon ready. I guess I thought I could outrun them. I mean, since they're zombies and all. But they're faster than they look. While I was struggling with one of them, a soldier ran up and pulled it off me. He shot it in the head. That stopped it, but it was too late. Too late. Too late. I was bitten. Sergeant Hester, hero. The soldier pulled me in a building and we waited there while zombies wandered around outside. Then he saw my bite. He drew his gun and said he was going to make it quick. I knew what the bite meant. I had a day, maybe two to live, but I didn't want to die. I fought with him and the gun went off. I killed him. I killed a good man. He was trying to help and I killed him. Also, I apologize if I'm reading this somewhat emotionless. I've read this before, so I'm sorry for that. Uh, In fact, I'm just going to talk my way through the rest of this, actually. After doing that, that does not seem like a good idea for me to read out loud. So I'm going to talk my way through these, just talk with you guys and give you a little bit to read it before I move on. Anyways, speaking of which, let's go ahead and move on. Uh, oh yeah, this one I like, cause well, I actually like this one. It's more story driven than the previous rebuild games. That being said, it's also, actually a full-on game, whereas the other ones were flash games. Uh, and if any of you have an opinion, please tell me, do you want my mouse to be visible in this kind of game or not? Because I personally don't care. I like it. I personally like it, but if other people think it looks better without it, then sure. Anyways, yeah. Yep. Anyways, let's go through a tutorial. See, I'm debating because if I go on easy, it's a lot more casual, but if I go on normal, you guys might be more entertained, so, Uh, sure, let's go with Kamloops. Let's go with normal. Yep, that's all we get. Anyways, I'm gonna actually turn down the sound effects, because these are pretty loud. Anyways, I'm not gonna lie to you, Doyle. This town's seen better days. It's overrun by the undead. No power, no running water, no food except for what we scavenge and grow ourselves. Drag the map to look around and yeah, basically. Okay, cool. Cool. Anyways, reclaim 10 more buildings. So for those of you who haven't done this kind of thing before, or seen this kind of thing, this is a game where your whole goal is to go ahead and uh well, rebuild, hence the name. What I'm doing right now is you have to scout out the area. I only wanted to send one of them in order to do anything in an area. Well, you can do stuff before you scout, but it's also a lot harder. I'm turning down those sound effects again because they're really annoying when I'm trying to talk. Anyways, this is going to be interesting for me because usually I'm trying not to talk. Uh, this is way too slow. There we go. See, if we get to a big map, I can slow the game down, but usually I'll just stop the game when something happens. Uh, yep, so... Let's see, how much housing do we have? Yeah, we have plenty of housing. Uh, so... Yeah, shut up. Don't care. Anyways, so that yellow sign means this is dangerous. Green is the least danger, yellow is more dangerous. So, for example, this guy, he doesn't have a strong combat skill, but he has a strong leadership skill. But if we say sent a soldier with him, it's a lot less dangerous. Yeah, I know we should recruit them, thanks. I need to edit settings on this when I get to a chance. Let's see, which one of these is most useful? Uh, let's see. Let's go to the, let's see. Actually, what's the most, let's go here. Yeah, let them stay to defend. You can tear down this building and build a farm. Uh, what's your leadership skills? 0 in leadership, okay. Let's... So... What I'm probably going to do is, here we can send out others to go ahead and scavenge. And let her stay to defend. Uh, yeah. Okay. See, so this is why it's important to have certain levels, because in some situations you end up with options where you can only take one or the other, for example, in this, and you need to have a certain level of leader to take more than that. So in this case, went ahead and because I sent a leader who was at level 4 leadership, because of the starting role I chose, which gave him top hat, which gives him better leadership skills, I can take both. So now we have two new uh we have two new survivors here. We have a zombie horde there, so let's go ahead and set this to defend. The unfortunate fact is that you cannot actually do anything at a place where there are actually wait. Oh wait, yeah, sorry. You can kill them. It's more dangerous. It's the hordes that you can't kill, which I don't think we see any hordes on this starting level, but nonetheless, let's just scout out the entirety of you're doing something. Yeah, let's scout out the entirety of all of this. See, usually scouting out the map is something I prioritize very early on because it tends to be valuable, and it's a very quick way to go ahead and get stuff learned. Okay, great. Uh, get stuff learned. I'm Englishing very well. Anyway, so what we want to do is eventually we want to be killing the zombies within the areas around our base and expanding our base to include those areas. Right now what I'm doing is just trying to scout out the area, get a better idea of what's around us, where we want to expand. Okay, so there we go. Uh, let's see, which one of these is most valuable? Uh, Okay, so we should probably move here, because then we can spend 2 resources, these things, or, well, materials they're called, in order to go ahead and reclaim that area. Uh, there's also additional resources, such as medicine, which medicine helps us keep people alive when they get sick. Fuel lets us make cooler things, and in general be more useful. And then, ammo lets us use guns, which we don't have any of at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. Uh, and then of course there's morale, which is well, happiness, but well, morale, and basically we want them happy. And of course population, because once you run out of houses, people aren't happy anymore. Yeah, let's see. These guys don't have high combat skills, but with the more people you send on a mission, typically the better off they're going to be at killing them. Let's move you over here to speed that up. No, that's one zombie. I don't care about that. Okay, let's kill those guys. So with how I have this set up, I have it set up so I can see where the dangerous amounts of zombies are getting. Uh, actually, does she have a gun? No, she does not. Uh, yeah. Okay then. So, uh, yeah. So school's almost out, so I'm probably gonna have to go in. Okay, so. Yeah, I was about to start saying this, but in this game, one of the favorite things I have about it is it includes more stuff for individual characters. So, for example, this, where I don't know if they have it set up yet. One second. Just getting some water. To randomize the outcomes of these, but basically, uh, yeah, so there's stuff like this. So, I remember you. Pierre Fachot's brother had prepped his entire life. The gun stockpile, the year's worth of rations, the bomb shelter that could survive the big one. To hear Pierre tell it, his brother was a born survivor, yet there he is now clawing at our walls, tearing his fingernails off in his eagerness to eat our brains. And then we can have options as to what make the what to make the survivors do. Uh, I'm gonna to click this because I don't like the other options. But yeah. Yeah. There are outcomes that come with each and everything you do. Uh, it's not a builder, unfortunately, but I think we'll have to do for now. Uh, there we go. Typically, your leader is the only one who's going to be able to level up in all of the skills. But yeah. Okay then, so what I'm trying to do right now is early game, it's a really good idea to close off an area. Oh, this is Gustav. Gustav is a guy we're gonna see a lot. He's a trader that's gonna show up in pretty much every town we go to. And what he does is he's existed, by the way, since the first rebuild game, and he just trades stuff with us. But yeah. So Gustav is very interesting. Okay then, so Uh, yeah, we probably don't want to take the sick one. Leave the sick one. Yeah. Uh, swear to God. Sorry, the music is starting to get on my nerves. Usually I like it, but... Oh, yeah, let's kill those. Before they get to be an issue. Uh, okay, great. Where's the crash? Okay. Send a scavenger with them as soon as I can. See, this is difficult because right now I'm annoyed because I could really use the soldier, but right now he's not high enough a level. Get that. Uh, use a leader, I guess. Uh, send you to trade. Then you and this guy to go to crash to salvage the crash. Uh, and hey, look, it's time to rebuild. Anyways, trade with Gustav. What does he have? So we have no use for ammunition. So we can give him 21. And that's why do we have a 65% markup? That's bull. Uh, can afford to give a little food. Because those materials are going to be far more useful right now. Uh, but we need to reclaim this farm to pull that off. Okay, does someone have the shotgun? Yeah, no, nobody has the shotgun. Builder. Yeah, there we go. So now Pierre's better off. And we can give him the shovel. There, so now they have equipment, so they're better at their jobs. Uh, Once we get those farms, theoretically, they will become a lot better. And we'll be a lot better off here. Yeah, sure, another survivor. Yay, because we're not low on food at all. We don't need a fucking engine. Damn it. Okay. But we can send him to that's the firehouse, not the school. Damn it. Uh, so if you have a school, you can train people to do other stuff. For now, we're gonna make him farm, because if he farms, we get more food. We'll send this leader over to... Sure, you can farm too. But yeah, we only need to reclaim 7 more buildings, which this is 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, that's bad. Yeah, let's just leave them there. Uh, so, okay. Well then, I know what happened because I've watched, that I've played this enough to know what happens when you do certain things and know what certain things say, but, yeah. Let's... let's see. Where do we want to go? Sure, why not scavenge here? Why don't we kill those guys instead? There we go. So that's what happens when a horde actually attacks. Because we had such a strong defense, we didn't have much to worry about. So that turned out just fine, but in the future there could be issues if we don't. Okay then. Let's see. So scavenger. Oh, I still want you to kill those zombies. These guys can go about killing more zombies that are at our gates. Uh, and kill the 8 there. Oh, yep, see, policies, yeah, so these policies can be changed later, but these do certain things. So for the rations policy, this will affect how much food we eat, but it will make everyone happier if we choose increased rations. Uh, what is our current food state? But we're going to be capturing that big farm. So we can probably afford increased rations right now. Yeah, we can afford increased rations right now in exchange for people being happier. Because with the farm, we should be in the clear. Oh yeah, so basically what that was saying, I skipped over it because I tend to skip over all of this, is that City Hall, yeah, that's a lot of food. City Hall has been added to a list of things we can build. So now we can go to build, we can build City Hall, and we can go ahead and start, actually rebuilding this society. Okay, what do we want to do now? Typically what I want to do is I want to get a line, just a straight line, because it's easier to defend along a line than it is along this weird system of things we've got set up now. We don't need these farmers actually, so they can start reclaiming stuff. So can these guys. So can you. And then so can you. And then you go ahead and kill these 11 zombies. Uh, we aren't even using ammo, but yeah. Actually, let's go ahead and not that. Yeah, we can give this guy a weapon. Yeah, let's give this guy the shotgun. Yeah, so now he's got the decent attack and leadership, so he's good. Uh, so at this point, it's just a waiting game for how long until we get that city hall built. I'm only going to go ahead and go through the one level today. I will plan on doing at least one level of this in particular a week. Other than that, I will not promise go ahead and I will not promise anything more than that, but I will be trying my best to get more, well, at least one of these videos in a week. And also, this channel is probably not just going to be video games anymore. I might include some talking about, in particular, Magic the Gathering or some board games I particularly enjoy. Maybe playing with some friends. We'll see what happens, but for now, it's going to stick to video games. Let's agree to leave him alone. Uh, really? Okay. Already. Yeah, see, what we really like here is we really like having that nice clean line where nothing is there. Kill those zombies, please. Uh, yeah, but we really like that clean line, and we want to know what's in this corner to avoid any issues. So yeah, missions are also more dangerous the farther they are from our walls, which is, slightly important. Uh, let's start reclaiming this. Because then we have our nice border finished. And let's go ahead and kill all the zombies on our edge. Another thing about killing all the zombies on the edge is, if I remember correctly, it takes at least 3 zombies for zombies to start massing. Meaning that they won't be a threat so long as we keep them low enough. Oh yeah, so Constitution. So now we can start a Constitution. And this basically affects policies with other factions, which we will meet later in the game. Gustav is actually technically a faction, but he's unique in that he doesn't have a base. Uh, so focus on growth, military, religion, or wealth. Personally, I think keeping people safe is very important. Uh, See, this is where my own personal views come in because I do not like playing this game for purely strategic. I like acting as if I was actually leading it. And the fact is that there is no way on earth I would choose the first or last option in this. It would be 2 people work, well, a person and a senate of sorts working together. Some shared, some private property. Don't want to share everything, of course. Uh, Randomly assign luxuries, because why not? Yeah, see, this is interesting, because this is where it gets particularly interesting, because in the crime and punishment, it really lets you look into this, because these are actually stuff that happens when someone breaks the rules. What you choose here can actually happen. So you can go ahead and if you choose to take away their luxuries, morale might go down. Put them in jail, you have one less person to use. Kick them out of a fort, you have one less person to use for good. And then capital cannibal punishment, that tends to be a bit extreme, but it can help with food. But yeah, so yeah. Uh, Personally, I favor banishment, helping allies, and then a name. Sure, President Doyle. And because all the other goals have been completed here, we can leave the city from City Hall. Uh, which, yeah, up to 3 other survivors can go to the next city. So, take take this guy. Uh, take her. Actually, no, let's not take her. Let's take this guy. He's a really good builder, a scavenger, and this guy as a soldier. Typically, builder, scavenger, and soldier are the most important uh, survivors early in the game. Because if early in the game, your most important things are keep the zombies off your backs, go ahead and expand your base so you can actually afford to do some extra stuff, and make sure that you can get the food to do so, of course. Anyway, so let's go. We probably should have given them the mission to leave the city. Anyways, uh, so this is pretty much the end. I will go into the start of the next one. So here we go. Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah, so this is just story, all that, but you know, whatever. Yep, yeah. Yep, so that's also why I didn't take Diane, because, yeah, so sad, so sad. Anyways, yeah, though, like, this is great because, unlike previous ones, this one has a narrative. Uh, well, that's great. I totally care what my score was. I don't, however. Anyway, so next time we will be going to Wenatchee, and we will be continuing this. But until then, thank you for watching and listening to me rant for half an hour.